Now, who are the nations today would bear the genealogy today in Bible prophecy, which are came by the way of Joseph? If you go back to early Bible prophecy, where Joshua divided the land among the 12 tribes of Israel, you find the geographic location where Manasseh, who was the eldest son of Joseph, migrated to the northeast. These ones who would most likely become the nations of Iraq, Iran, and again Afghanistan, because it spoke concerning this when Jacob gave the blessings in Genesis, I believe, chapter 39. You have to check that for reference, but somewhere in there when before he died in Egypt. Now, I'm going to begin here and concern this matter where dominion are going to be taken away by another person who did not serve God. And the chapter 12, Genesis, Revelation chapter 12. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, meaning the power of God, because Jesus, I saw him sitting in the sun during my calling, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. The 12 stars are the 12 tribes of Israel, or Jacob, the 12 sons of Jacob out of the house of Israel. And she, being with child, cried, traveling with birth and pain to be delivered. This is the land of Abraham. This is where Mary, the mother of Jesus, was born. This is what it's referring to. It was the Middle East. And there appeared upon another wonder in heaven, which is the land of Abraham. And behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. These are the United Nations which came in invading this land for the beginning of World War II. 3. The great red dragon. A dragon is a symbol of a beast who breathe by living fire, who have living fire, breathe fire that need no fuel. So this red dragon symbolizes the nations in question are the nations of superpower, 7 United Nations superpower having nuclear capabilities, symbolized by the dragon, and they having 7 heads. 7 heads. These are the 7 nations, are the 7 commanders in chief of these nations, and 10 horns. 10 horn. A horn is what an ox or a ram fight with, or go with. So the horns become 10 fighting horses. So where you get the 10 horns at, one of these, which is the head of gold, which I spoke of concerning Daniel, which symbolize the United States of America, they have 4 fighting forces. They have 4 Air Force, Army, Navy, and Marine. And then the remaining of the 6 of these United Nations, dominant nation, richest nation of the earth, carry the other 6 horns, which give you a total of 10. And and 7 crowns upon the head. 7 crowns upon the heads are the commander in chief. The heads are the nations in question, and the crowns is the commander in chiefs of these nations, which we call the presidents. And his tail drew down the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered. Okay. During this time it talked about, it said, giving you the characteristic of this person, of this nation, it was a long, drawn out process. But this time they killed a 3rd part of the house of Abraham. They slaughtered 1/3 of the population of this nation during this world war, this final world war. But it tells you the characteristics before this came. As you read the word of REV, when they went there and invaded this, they tried to destroy Jesus before he was born by going in and slaying all of these children of the Hebrews and trying to interbreed with him in order to contaminate the seed. But Jesus was born unto this family tree as a person born having a black father and a black mother, as it was mixed. It was not mixed. And this is where he alluded to dragon, which came through Alexander the Great, which God gave it, how it began in Revelation chapter 6. The white horse, which was Alexander the Great, the red horse, which was symbolized President George W. Bush, and the black horse, who had the balance in hand, which was the black prophet, that is myself. And the pale horse would become the dark side of the United States of America, who only understands sinister magic, who made a covenant with death and hell, because America is a divided kingdom, spoken of in Daniel chapter 2, and that image that had a head of gold, chest and leg, arm of silver, breast of brass, legs of iron, feet part iron and part clay. This was the one, the dark side of America unleashing itself, which was symbolized by the pale horse, and this is the one he's talking about right now. And we'll get to where it came from. And the great dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all the nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. He escaped anyway, and the woman fled unto the wilderness, where she had a place of God prepared, that they should feed her 1,260 days. In other words, after Jesus, they went and started killing up thieves. In other words, it was going to be a repercussion because of Jesus in these later days. This is what God's talking about. But God is going to protect some. And there was a war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out. The nations that went in and fought this war against God's people was cast out of this land. That old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceived the whole world, he was cast out. He called the head Satan, because in Job 1 and Job 2, God called the United States Satan. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him. The angels is the United Nations, the one that supports this. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brothers is cast down, which accused him before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives until then. They loved not their lives until death. Now, I'm going to start at Revelation chapter 13. That cover that. Okay. Excuse me. Revelation chapter 13 is the invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan. And I stood upon the sea. Now this is here, right here. That was Revelation chapter 12, which covered this here. These was the 10 horns. This was the red dragon right here. And these were the heads of the Gentile nations. That I'm showing you the consistent. And the 10 horns refers you back to Daniel chapter 7, 6:28, which is consistent with that. This connects you, letting you know Daniel chapter 7, 1-5, Daniel 7, 6:28 is also the replica of these three. Is replica, because wherever you see the 10 horns is telling you these are events, but he's telling you how they took place and who was these nations, and it's consistent. So in somewhere where you could understand this part of Bible prophecy is true. So you got the 10 horns in Daniel 7, 6, 1-28, and you got 10 horns in Revelation 12, 1-17. Lets you know that this